Can you see the urgency from maybe a fan's point of view and then the outside talk about, I mean, you are the future of the footy club in a lot of people's eyes?
Yeah, I fully understand that, and I guess historically the way I've always gone about my contract situation should give some indication of where I'm heading with this. Now's the time for some really cool heads, and the blowtorch is on our club, and it is on me, and it's on Ross Lyon at the moment. But now's the time for some calm, some practical thinking, and some strong leadership in working through these situations. So I never have been, and we won't be dictated to by the external pressure that builds, and our members and fans should be really comfortable in the knowledge that behind the closed doors at Fremantle we're doing everything we can to better our footy program. We've got a number of new guys in the team, and there is a period of gelling which we're going through at the moment. Ideally, we're playing better football than we are at the moment. We're 0-2. It isn't the end of the world, but we're not playing great, and we acknowledge that. But we won't be pressured by external noise.
Is there a reason, though, Fyfe, you haven't re-signed yet? What are you actually waiting? Is it something you're waiting for, or what's...
It's just always the way I've done it. I'm coming back off long-term injury. I had a year out last year with a broken leg. And this is the way that I've always dealt with contractual situations. It's not on the agenda for me. I am firmly focused on leading as the players have elected me to do, and working with other leadership group members and with Ross Lyon. That's my firm focus.
Could it be destabilising though, if it keeps dragging out, there's more back pages and there's more commentators just talking about your contract?
Again, I'm not going to comment really on the external noise and speculation. That's your job. But as I stated earlier in the year, my position contractually was always going to be this, and if I felt like it's getting too much for the players or more so for myself, then I'll look to get something done.
Now, if it's not wins and losses, what are sort of the couple of key things that you have to see to make sure that Fremantle's the right place?
I think we've addressed the contract talk. So yeah, pretty happy to take other questions at this point.
Was it your idea to talk today, Matt?
No, it wasn't. No, this is part of my role as captain, is to address members and fans and pass on a message and really offer up my opinion that at the moment we're in a position that we wouldn't like to be in, but we're working through that.
How do you explain what's been happening on the field? Just your skill execution, the team for a start.
Yeah. I mean, some skill errors are really costing us, some turnovers, and some of that is a byproduct of our defensive structure. So we have a number of areas that we need to tighten up on. We're getting scored too heavily against, and we're not being able to kick enough score. So there's a few areas to work on.
Ross has been an effort-based coach always, and he said doesn't focus on skills. Do you train skills enough?
Yeah, we do, absolutely. Sometimes it's more in the decision-making of the individual, and not necessarily always on the execution of the skill.
There's some fans that are even calling for Ross Lyons, but at the moment have you as a play group.
Yeah, I mean, again, external speculation is going to happen in the industry that we're in, but I'm really comfortable that the playing group is really united and fully behind Ross Lyon and our other assistant coaches. There is a strong galvanising effect happening out of what's happening at the club at the moment, and ideally we're playing better football than we are now. But
How does it feel?
but our full support is behind Ross and the coaches.
Apologies there, mate. How does it feel on the inside? Because one of your greats has said, Paul Hastings, that it's as bad a time as he's seen at the club. It obviously doesn't feel like that on the inside.
Not really, no.
Fyfe, just with the skills, obviously the players with ball in hand, it looks as though they've almost lost confidence, or they don't really know what to do with it. Have the players got confidence in their own ability, or has it been sapped at all?
Confidence is an interesting term to throw around at high-level sport. We're not winning, and so that word confidence can creep into the discussion, but the players are competent. It's about having the ability under the heat of the game and the pressure of a AFL game situation to be able to execute that.
So Ross's game plan obviously was so much based on that effort. Now that it sort of seems as though the AFL has transitioned into this fast, free-flowing football, have you guys got what it takes to match it with that? Has Ross's game plan evolved?
I think so, yeah.
So you're 100%, believing what the football you're playing and where you're heading. That's good enough to win.
We're fully supportive of our senior coach and our assistant coaches, that they have the ability, mentality, philosophy to take us to where we need to go.
How are you dealing with the pressure. I mean, everything at the moment. I mean, even I think it was quarter time on Sunday, you were quite vocal to the playing group. How's it at the moment? How are you enjoying or handling the captain?
Yeah, the challenge is real. It's a new challenge for me, and also I'm coming off 12 months out of the game, so I'm still finding my way back in, finding my fitness, and working with Dave Mundy to find out exactly what the captaincy role requires on game day. So there's a bit of heat coming my way and the leadership group's way, but that's part and parcel of footy.
Have you noticed that you're being targeted even by second game players that are having a go at you? How are you adjusting to that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm happy to take the heat.
Is it just a case of the players just have to back their skill execution in? Nathan, it got to a stage on the weekend where they were very hesitant to execute the kick, as opposed to just, going back knowing they could do it and just firing off and letting the consequences be what they do.
Yeah, I think there's an element of that. Yep.
Hayes said yesterday the skills come from a confidence in the game plan, and maybe just the players are turning over the footy because they're not confident in where they're supposed to be kicking or running. Is that an element maybe in what's going on, especially in the defensive half of the ground?
No, I don't think so. No.
Why is that? Why?
We have confidence in our game plan.
So do you think changes? Do you think there should be several changes, or a lot of changes, or wholesale changes? Or
Yeah, thankfully, as captain, picking the team doesn't come under my leadership duties, so I'll leave the match committee to decide that.
But from a fan's point of view, do you think they need to see some change to give them something, confidence in the club that things are changing?
Yeah, again, the match selection and match committee's out of my hands.
Do you feel like you can accelerate the rebuild though by bringing some more kids in and getting them some exposure at AFL level?
Oh, we've got some really talented guys playing down at Peel who will get a look potentially this week and going forward. So the fans should be excited about what they're going to see out of Griffin Logue, Harley Ballich, guys like that.
Nathan, the great strength of Fremantle was their ability to defend and completely stifle an opposition team ball movement, and it looks like other teams now have almost a greater skill set perhaps, and a team's harder to defend when they have the ball in hand now than they were, say, back in 2013, 2014, 2015.
The game's sort of evolved a little bit. It seems to be moving slightly quicker, but it's still 18 opposition players in one ball, so the game hasn't changed all that dramatically, and we're not defending very well at the moment.
What do you say to some of the younger guys who perhaps haven't experienced this type of pressure and external heat before?
Yeah, really, it's a good question. We encourage our younger guys who haven't been through a period of losses such as what we're going through at the moment to really seek guidance from the older guys who have been and really focus on what they can control, listening to the leadership of the senior coach and the assistant coaches, and working our way out of a tough situation. There's no easy fixes here, there's no wholesale changes, there's no silver bullets. We're going to have to gradually and with good leadership work our way out of this.
Now, Ross Lyon last week said you weren't getting enough protection. Do you think you are out on the field with ball winners like this?
Yeah, I'm happy to take the heat if it means that other guys are going to get off the chain.
You're comfortable right now, Nat? I mean, you stand here, you're 25 years of age, captain of a footy club that's battling, and the whole country wants to know whether you're signing. Right now, your emotions as you talk to us?
I'm passionate about this footy club. I want to help this footy club in any way I can, and this is a high pressure situation and a new one for me that I'm still coming to grips with, but I'm up for the challenge.
How heavy do you lean on someone like David Martin who was involved last year, and Aaron Sandlands is obviously the oldest and most experienced player?
Very heavily. Thanks, guys.